Hello, everybody, and welcome to Kyrus Has Friends. My name is Kyrus, and I'm sitting here with a very special guest. But before we get to him, if you are interested in following me and learn more about me, you can follow me on my social media platforms. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and on Twitter at The Vibe with Kai. You can also follow me on let's say TikTok will be available by the time that this thing airs. If it doesn't get banned, you can follow me on TikTok and on Snapchat at Kyrus Keenan. Hopefully, it'll be there. Maybe it won't be, but we'll see. But with that being said, you can also visit my website, thevibewithkai.com, where I'm always posting blogs and video posts and things that'll help you do good, feel good, be good, and live a good life full of good vibes. But enough about me. Enough about me and my fear that TikTok will get banned. Enough about me and my merchandise that you can buy at thevibewithkai.com. Enough about me and all of my other rhetoric. I'm sitting here with a good friend, somebody that likes to talk about good vibes and has the voice of an angelic god. I can't even do this. And I'm sitting here and I'm so excited to be here because I like to spread positive energy. I'm sitting here with my friend Shane, aka Liquid Shano. What's up, man?
I can't even handle this, man. This is so bad. What's going on? What's going on, man? Anytime that I can get together with you on a positive realm and keep on spreading positivity, which is exactly what I try to do. We vibe that way. This is amazing. I'm so glad I'm here.
Dude, I'm so happy that you're here, and because and we're gonna get into this in a second. But for those of you that don't know, Shane, he on TikTok, he loves to do what I do. He will post just positive affirmations and just good vibes and positive energy, because Lord knows that on TikTok there is tons of negativity and bullying and just terrible things that are on there sometimes. So it's always refreshing to kind of just scroll through and to see people like Shane, people like Joe, like so many people that are doing these amazing things to help spread positivity. He also hosts CoffeeTalk with Liquid Shano in Liquid Shano 1973, which you can listen to on both Apple Music and on Spotify, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
You're Mr. Big Time over there, Mr. Big Time.
I'll tell you, man. I'll tell you, the podcast itself, that's my bread and butter. That's where I'm at, right? And that's where it all started with the whole positive affirmation thing. Because for me, it was I started a while back. I was trying to be able to lose weight, and I started the podcast as like a vlog, or not a vlog, but a blog entry. But I did it audio format because some guy goes, "Hey, man, you got a great voice. I need you to put those words into audio." And I went, "What are you talking about? What's this podcast thing?" So I hopped on there and I grabbed the mic. I went down to Guitar City. I picked up a microphone, a little mixer thing, and plugged it in the back of my computer, and off we went. And it's just been such a blessing to be able to connect with other people that now rely on me, and they'll send me messages just like this morning. This morning I got a message this morning on my email that said, "Hey, I started off my August great with my goals, and I've been working out. Your podcast filled my ears for 35 minutes this morning. It was absolutely set me off on the right tone this morning." Just a quick note. And I went, "Oh, man, you know what I'm saying?"
It's little things like that that remind us why we do what we do.
Yep.
Right? Because like there's some days, and I don't know if you feel the same way or not, but there's some days like I enjoy doing this, like 100%. But like every now and then I'll have a day and I'm like, should I be doing something else? Should I be giving my attention to other things? Should I go about this a different way? And then we will receive like a text or a direct message or an email or something like that from people that are just like, "Hey, I appreciate what you're doing right now and how you're doing it." And then it's like that's such a kind reminder as to why we do what we do, and that's why we keep going. Because like me, like my goal, if I can make one person smile, then like all of this nonsense, it's worth it to me. It's all worth it because I helped make somebody's day a little bit better. But so how did you get started just with the whole just good vibes? Like were you always like this, or did it kind of grow on you? How did this all begin?
Yeah, I think I always believe in, and I've shared this with many people before, but here's the thing. I feel like when you get to a point in your life where you may face some really dark times, right? Some really maybe it's trauma, maybe it's dramatic, maybe something's going on in your world that makes you really face reality and face life itself, whether it's life and death or whatever. So what happened to us was about, I'd say 10 years ago or so, my wife fell ill. And she was in the hospital. And so my son and I were there watching her go through this thing in the hospital. And it was like, we had to make some really huge life-changing, changes in our life to be able to make sure that we could stay healthy and be able to move forward. And she had to really clean up her whole entire life, like no more alcohol, no more anything. And it was like literally like, wow, this is some huge changes I got to make. So when you're faced with mortality, right? Mortality of the fact of I could lose my best friend for the rest that I've had for like, we've been together for over 20 years.
Oh, wow.
When you're faced with that mortality of going, man, what am I going to do here? Right? What's the purpose of what I'm trying to do? I can keep on going through the grind and keep on spinning my wheels and keep on doing the things that I'm doing and just, collect a paycheck or keep moving forward. Or I can truly make impacts on people's lives and invest in people in a way that I need as well. So it's interesting. Not only am I trying to be able to invest in others, but it's a thing that I do for myself as well, because I'm investing in myself to be able to fill my cup up so that way I can keep on keeping that thing full and keep on moving. So after this happened with my wife, literally from that point forward, I changed my whole entire view on everything. My lens changed from the corporate structure to just trying to be able to just, be the man of the house and let's go ahead and just, make the dollars and do whatever we have to do not only am I going to try to be able to be the best version of myself, but I'm going to try to make everybody else around me better, including my wife, including my son and everybody around me. So when you're faced with those kind of things, sometimes that causes that momentum shift for you to go, oh, wait a minute, what am I doing with my life? You know what I mean? So I feel like I found my purpose in what I'm doing. To your point, you do one person, you make an impact on one single person. That should truly make your whole day that much better to be able to say, man, you know what? I'm done for the day. I'm good to go. This is fantastic.
So when you tell your story and give your positive affirmations to people and you become so personable with them, and do you often hear back from those people, that you're talking to, telling you their stories? And if so, like, how does that affect you, with how you move forward with things?
Yeah, I feel like, so the strange thing about the podcast, Kai, is that when I'm talking into a microphone, I'm literally talking into a microphone, and I think to myself, I'm talking to thousands of people that are listening to it out there, right? So I know that what I'm saying is just me and a mic, and it's my journey and where I'm at with it. The most impactful things that ever come from it are the ones that you don't hear from it all the time, right? Here's my story and here's where I'm at. But when you do hear that this impact, so I'll tell you a little story. I was telling Joe this the other day. We were having a conversation, and just in the meantime, while I'm having a conversation with him, I get a message from a veteran, a military veteran that was listening to my podcast. And the podcast that I had shared was about reaching out for help when you need it, right? Make sure that you reach out. Make sure that you find the help that you need. Go find a medical professional. Reach out to family. Do something with somebody that's going to help be a positive influence on you. So it was a self-help one. He reached out to me, and he literally said to me, "You saved my life." And I went, wait, what, whoa. I'm like, this is heavy. Like, okay. So
it's like, you can't just say that and then just walk away.
Said, right, exactly. I was like, okay, let's talk for a second. He said he suffered from PTSD and he suffered from a lot of things. And he needed to hear from a fellow veteran, which I am, but I also was talking about a veteran themselves, about their story. He said, I needed to hear from somebody in the same boat as me, in the same struggle as me, to tell me it's going to be okay. And we can go get the help the help is out there and necessary for you to be able to do so. He said, I just needed to hear it from somebody other than my immediate family or my immediate circle, somebody from a perspective somewhere else that took the time to invest in me, even though I'm talking into a microphone that's, you know what I mean? Like me and a mic.
Right.
Those moments, Kai, they change my life all the time. Every single time I hear those, I'm like, man, it fills my heart and it drives me to continue to do this moving forward. You know what I'm saying? It's a life changer. It's amazing.
Absolutely. There's no better feeling than that. I mean, obviously you want people to, not have to find themselves in difficult situations. However, when they feel comfortable enough to come to you and tell you how you've affected them and how you've made their life better, that's incredible. That's always like one of the best feelings in the world. And so, like, when you get those type of messages, do you do you say to yourself, okay, do you ever like feel the pressure at all? You know, knowing that like people listen to you, and while it may not be life or death, you know, generally speaking,
Yep.
you know, like you said, you are receiving messages from people saying you saved my life.
Right.
You know, you are receiving messages from people saying, hey, my day was crap, you know, and now you've made it better. Do you ever feel the pressure knowing that you have the platform that you have, that you are giving the message that you're giving? Do you feel the pressure, and how do you handle that, really?
Yeah. So yes, the answer is yes,
Mhm.
completely. Because what I like about it is this: I'm a guy that loves accountability, and I love
Yeah.
to be held accountable to my actions, right? And my actions around the fact of me being positive, that pressure that I have with the fact that
Mhm.
other people are relying on me and can relate to where I'm at, that's my level of accountability. I don't necessarily
Right.
think of it as a negative pressure. I think of it
Sure.
as a pressure of going, okay, buddy, you're held accountable. So
Right.
make that small coffee talk that you do where you hold your mug in the air and say, have a great day today, or
Right.
record that podcast today, especially when you're out there. But I will tell you this much, though. I love what you said earlier. It's not always easy.
Yes.
We're in this place where we try to bring positive messages and everything else to the
Mhm.
table. And I know that accountability is there, and it's that voice that tells me, okay, buddy, you got people relying on you. Let's go, which is a great thing. But there are some mornings that it's just like crap. I like
Oh,
get up and
yeah.
I'm like, oh man, you know what? I don't want to record
Yeah.
anything. I don't
Oh,
want to do
absolutely.
this. I'm not in the mood. I feel
Absolutely.
like crap. I look in the mirror. It's funny because I always try to
Mhm.
reference. I don't know if you're familiar with the Saturday Night Live reference where Stuart Smalley used to sit in front of the mirror and he used to always tell himself,
Yeah.
I'm good enough. I'm
Yes.
smart enough. And doggone it, people like me, right?
I actually rewatched, because I just finished watching The Last Dance, and I
Yep.
rewatched actually the episode where he did that with Michael Jordan, when Michael Jordan did in the mirror, and I
So
was like,
funny. It's
yes,
so funny. It's
yes.
so great. But I picture myself doing that every morning when I look in the
Yeah.
mirror and I say to myself, okay, I'm having a crappy morning. So I
Yeah.
have to really put my game face on, just like Michael Jordan when he goes
Yeah.
into every game. I got to
Yeah.
put my game face on. Not that I'm trying to be fake or anything like
Right.
that, because some mornings I do lift up the coffee mug and say, listen, your morning may not be that great like mine is
Right.
this morning, but you know what? I feel better now that I'm with you and I'm having a
Absolutely.
cup of coffee with you. And I know
Yes.
that the rest of my day is going to be better incrementally because I know that I'm here with you right now, right?
Right.
That's
Right.
a really big
Absolutely.
deal, and I need that sometimes.
Yeah. Absolutely. No, I think sometimes, and like people, including myself, forget that we're human.
Right.
We are human beings, and and I'm not just saying like all those people, like me too
No.
sometimes,
Yes.
right? Where like I do feel, I'm like, I have, like you said, I have to put this game face on. It's not a matter of being fake, but it's a matter of we have decided individually to take on a responsibility.
Agreed.
And when we take on that responsibility, we know what comes with it, and so we have to be ready. You
Yeah.
know, it's like, if we're going to continue the Michael Jordan references here. I mean, it's like it's not like he just showed up like every day. It's not like he was like, you know what, I don't feel like playing today, so I'm just not.
Right.
But he has a responsibility. You
Mhm.
know, doctors, cops, anybody in these service, you know, positions, psychiatrists, psychologists, like they have a responsibility.
Right.
You know, and I'm not trying to like equate like the nonsense I do on TikTok with like some of these important people,
But you
but
can though, Kai. You can, because
yeah,
when I watch you and I watch your
yeah,
energy and I watch your vibe and I watch everything
mhm,
that's on Instagram, on TikTok, and
yeah,
everything, it is there is a duty to what you're doing. Like you
yes,
literally are looking up going, okay, I'm doing that. There's a purpose behind it.
sure,
All the tomfoolery, that's a great
yes,
word, isn't it? Tomfoolery,
yes.
right? All the all the shenanigans. There's another great word, shenanigans, right?
I'm adding. Hold on, let me write this down because I need to use this. I need to bring those back.
All the stuff that you do, right? There's a
Yeah,
purpose and there's a strategy when
yeah,
you look at it behind it, because you want to embark on, I want to share love, positivity,
yes,
and those kind of things. You've chosen in your life, right? Outside of your regular job, you've
hmm,
chosen in your life that this is somewhere you want to be. So you
yes,
are just like a cop, or you are just like a medical professional, or whatever.
hmm,
There's a level of due diligence that you're doing right there to be able to say, I'm investing in
sure,
this and moving that forward. I love that. And
sure.
and I think that you do that. Don't sell yourself short is what I'm really trying to say, because I think you do a great job at it. That's what I'm
Yeah,
trying to say.
and on top of that, I also like I do enjoy it, and I know that you do
Yeah.
too.
Yep.
Otherwise, we really just wouldn't be
Right.
doing
Right.
it, you know. But like it is scary sometimes, you know,
It is.
to get these messages, and like while I do enjoy like hearing like how much I've affected people, it's also scary knowing how much I have affected people. you know. But I do. But it's a very humbling experience. I'm sure it is for you. But I do have to ask, what is a day for you if you don't have coffee? Like, let's just say for some reason you forgot to go out and get your coffee beans, all the Dunkin' Donuts are closed, all the Starbucks shut down, whatever it is. What is a day? What is a day for you when you just open up your mug and you're like, oh no.
Oh, dude. Okay, if you've ever seen the movie Armageddon,
Yes.
that's pretty much what it is. The world is exploding. The fire is coming through the household. The wife is running the other direction going, get away from me. I don't want anything to do with you. What are you doing? Literally, Kai, this is no lie. This is no lie. In the mornings, because she gets up way early. She's a really early riser. Every morning, pretty much, as she hears me rummaging upstairs, she's like, okay, there it is, sitting right on the countertop.
Nice.
Because all these years that I've been just a coffee drinker, and it really kicks me off in the right way. It started when I was in the Navy days, because I used to have these really early morning shifts, 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. And I was never a coffee drinker until in the Navy. That's what we had to do to stay awake and stay alive and everything else. We're like, okay, coffee would keep us going. So for me, every morning, she knows that I'm kind of a grumpy dump. But a lot of people, it's hard for people to believe. They don't understand the fact that Shane is grumpy sometimes.
I don't believe
grumpy.
I don't believe that. I feel like you're a teddy bear, a happy teddy bear, full of, like, if there was a button on your back or a pull string, I would pull it, and you would just always on point, just be like, yeah.
I could be a teddy bear, but pre-coffee, the fangs are coming out going, it's so bad. But anyway, it's a great question, because here's the thing. When I started the podcast, the reason that I called it Coffee Talk, and people all talk about the Saturday Night Live reference to Linda Richmond used to say, talk amongst yourselves and all that stuff, right? Yeah. So what I said was, the reason that I call it Coffee Talk, for me anyway, and I know there's a lot of different mediums that have things called Coffee Talk. For me, it's because when I do drink my coffee, and I spend maybe 10 to 15 minutes in the morning, that's my right size moment. I wake up in the morning and I strategize around what my day is going to be. Am I going to be successful? Okay, great. How? What's my goals? What are my checkoff items for today that I know that I've got on my list of things to do? And then also, it's a time for me to reflect on my previous day. So I have a journal that goes right with it. Okay. So basically, I take a look. Was I successful yesterday?
Right.
Did I get the things I wanted to accomplish yesterday? Did I make a positive impact on somebody's life some way, some form or fashion? And I check those off and I write down my thoughts in the morning. That's what Coffee Talk does for me, because I can't do what I do unless I start my day off on the right foot or change it to get on the right foot.
Absolutely. You know what I mean? And I think that's a good, just general piece of advice for people in general. And I tell people this all the time. Well, especially because I used to go out and give, keynote addresses to, about positivity and good vibes. And then all of a sudden this virus started. But
I know.
But I used to go out and I used to go around to different like corporate headquarters and offices. And the talk that I would always give is about positive attitudes in the workplace, right? Like that was like my main go-to, like, hey, I'm hiring you to come talk to my team because they're all grumpy, right? so
we need a morale booster, a Kai booster. That's what we need. Let's go.
Exactly. I'm like, all right, that's fine. That works for me. So, and one thing I would always ask people is, how are you starting your morning? How are you starting your day? Are you starting it off, like, do you wake up and say, oh, gotta go to work?
Right.
Oh, I gotta do all this work when I get there. If you start off negatively, which is understandable, because I understand the grumpiness, right? But you know what you have to do to get yourself to the point that you need to get to, right? I'm not saying, like, I tell people all the time, I'm not saying that you have to be happy dappy all the time, because Lord knows I'm not.
Right.
But I also know from practice and a lot of trial and error what it takes for me to get myself out of that, whether it's the beginning of the day, the middle of the day, end of the day. You got to know yourself. You know yourself better than any other person in this room, right? So what are you going to do to get yourself out of it?
Right.
You can acknowledge the way that you feel, which is a good thing, whether it's grumpy, sad, disappointed, fearful, whatever it is. The question now is, what are you going to do about it? It might be something simple like a cup of coffee. It might be something like, I'm going to listen to my favorite music in the morning. I'm going to listen to my favorite podcast. I'm going to exercise. Whatever it may be, find it and let it become a part of you. And then you're going to find it very therapeutic, and you're going to be able to take yourself out of any situation that you, because you have that choice. And that's what I try to tell people. And here's the thing, it's not easy. It's not easy.
It takes work.
Like,
it takes work.
It takes practice. And guess what? There's also going to be times that it's not going to be successful.
Right.
But you know yourself, and you know what you have to do. And
I will tell you, Kai, the one thing that I love what you're sharing here, because it is definitely an important piece to it. One of the best practices that I learned in my life is I need it in front of me. And one of the adages that I love that I heard from a leader back in the day when I was in the military, he used to always say, if it's on paper, it's on purpose. Yes. And I used to go, okay, all right, that's pretty cool. I like that. So if I write it down, it's a reality. It's quantifiable. Yes. It's something I can grab onto. So one of the things that I do for me personally, and maybe people can also take this under their wing and whatever else they want to do, when they go into the first place that they usually go to in the morning is when you wake up, you go into the bathroom, right? You go into the bathroom, you might put your makeup on, you might, or you might take a shower, you might brush your teeth, whatever it is that you're doing. That's the first place you go to, and there's a mirror right in front of you.
Yes.
So what you're doing is you usually look at yourself in the mirror, and you're getting a quick snapshot into how you are, how you're feeling, what you're doing. Do I feel like I'm pretty today? Do I feel like I'm handsome today? Do I
felt like I was pretty today, Shane.
I'm very pretty. Thank you so much. Yes. So if you're looking at yourself and you're getting a quick snapshot of where you're at, what I do is I have small little Post-it notes or little stickers on my mirror, on the outside of my mirror. One of them says, what's my goal today? Which is my goal every day is to how am I going to make a positive impact, right? That's one of the things on the top left. And on the top right is a small, whatever it is at that moment that you want to be able to lean in on. So like you said, if you have a best practice that you know works for you, remind yourself that that's what that is. Right. Absolutely. And one of the other things is I always say, put your whys on your mirror. So if you're focused on whatever it is that you're focusing on and you're having a bad day, always remember there's a reason why you're doing the things that you're doing, and remember those whys and bring them to the front. Because if you can think really specifically around, you're doing it for your kids, or you're doing it for your health, or you're doing it for whatever it is, remember those whys at those tough times. Because then it'll start to bring you back out of that rut where you go, oh, you know what? Well, who am I being a negative Nancy right now? Seriously, I got to really look at this and say, why am I doing the things that I'm doing? That's why my son or my wife or my health or longevity or things that I want to be able to do. Those are the reasons why I'm doing what I'm doing. And that's my driver. Like, seriously, put those reminders on your mirror, wake up, look at them, and go. Let's go.
Here's the thing, Shane, man. I know this isn't airing on until Wednesday, but we're filming on a Sunday. I didn't know that you were coming to preach today, Shane. No. I wasn't prepared to
I'm in the zone, man. I'm in the zone. You woke me up, man.
I love it. So here's my next question. So TikTok, right? Yep. By the time this airs, I mean, it probably will still be around, but maybe not.
I think so. I hope so.
I hope so too, obviously, because it's connected me with a lot of great people, including yourself, you know, among many others, right? So how has TikTok affected how you go about spreading your message, and what has that been like for you, and what are you looking to do in the future with it?
Yeah. So for me, it's been a life changer for me. Yeah. So what it's done is that, so on the audio side of a podcast, it's me, microphone, audio, people can listen to it. They connect to it. They'll send me emails. So it's very electronic. You know what I mean? There's no real personal usage. Then I started doing some live casts, which are like on YouTube, and I'll do like a live stream, and I'll do interviews and things like that, which is new for me. So I'm like, oh, I really like this because it's a face-to-face. Right. What I did was, there was 2 reasons why I joined TikTok. 2 reasons. One of them was because I wanted to see what my son was doing. He's 15 years old, and I wanted to see what he's watching, because he's on there scrolling. I'm like, what's going on over here, right? So first thing was that, to be a dad that's watching things. But the second thing was I followed who I follow pretty closely, and I'm inspired by a lot, is Gary Vee. Yeah. And Gary Vee basically said, this is a platform that you should be on. And when you go there and you have a message that you want to bring to the table, whether it's a positive message, whether it's a collector message, whether it's making money or whatever it is, go there and be consistent, and don't stop. And so when I first got on there, I was like, okay, I hopped on. I said, I'm going to do it. And I can stay pretty consistent. I was doing these small little messages here and there. And it really was slow at first, right? Slow approach. And I'm like, okay, that's all right. I'm still going to stay consistent. I got my podcast. I got my everything else. I'm just going to incorporate it and layer it in. And so I'd say probably for the last 2 months is when I've started to see so many people now hopping in, going, I look forward to your coffee in the morning. I look forward to this piece of it. I love seeing your face. And I'm just like, whoa. Well, hold on now. Okay, number one, I got a face for radio, guys. If you're looking at me right now, you'll see that I got.
Get out of here! Oh my goodness. I told you you're a teddy bear.
I'm
You
a
are a
teddy
teddy
bear,
bear,
and I'm beautiful.
sir.
I'm beautiful, and I'm
You said you woke up feeling pretty today, Shane.
Oh my God. So the way I look at it is that it's inspired me, right? It's inspired me to do exactly what you and I talked about earlier, was that accountability piece, where I now know that if I raise my mug in the morning,
yes,
and I say, "Good morning, cheers," people rely on that. And they're like,
yes.
that sets my day off right. You have no idea. And I'm hearing this more and more. And now it's starting to take off for me. And what's funny is, I know followers aren't a big deal, but it's a big deal mentally for you when you can hit milestones for yourself, to know that 5,000 people now are looking at me going, hey, I want you in my life. And I'm like, whoa. And now if you look right above I don't know if you can see this little gray one over there. That's something an artist had made for me just the other day. They sent it to me. And on there it says, good morning, cheers. What I say every morning. And they have a coffee mug. It says CoffeeTalk. And the other one says do the work, which are one of my mugs. They put this together. They painted it and they sent it to me via mail, because they said, you inspire me every day to be a better version of myself. I'm like, fantastic. What? That's what TikTok has done for me. Listen, as long as it's around, let's lean in and let's keep that positivity moving.
And it's probably the same for you in this matter. I know for me, it has helped boost my other platforms. Right, because I've always been a believer that you should never put your eggs in one basket. It's for this very reason. Like, if TikTok is gone tomorrow and you have a bunch of followers and they have nowhere to follow you elsewhere, then I mean, what's the point? So so it's actually helped boost my other initiatives and my other platforms as well. And it, like you, I mean, it's changed my life.
It has.
It has changed my life, and it kind of gave me this direction. That I knew generally which way I wanted to go, because like the stuff I'm doing now, I've always done this. I just it's just been mainly on Instagram and Facebook and sometimes YouTube. But now I feel like I've found like a niche in a way. And
you're fire. You got listen.
I feel great.
You literally it was burning in there. It was a small flame.
Yes.
And I feel like, just like I was talking to Joe about this, I said, Joe, when you're sitting back and you're thinking to yourself, this small fire has now become a roaring inferno, because I want to keep going and moving, and this is what I want to do. And I feel like my feet are grounded more so right now to be able to say I'm all these other platforms, but I've got passion and I'm ready to go. You know what I'm saying? That fire's burning.
I'm more motivated now than I've been in forever, which is why I tell people, like, look, 2020, sure, it's not the best of years right now, sure, but like, you could still, from a personal level, make the most of it. You could still, on a personal level, make this the best year ever. There's a good chance, Shane, that at the end of this year, I could look back and say, this was the best year ever for me personally. Like I might be able to say that if I keep staying motivated, and I keep pushing myself, and I keep collaborating with with people like you. And by the way, anybody watching it, we keep mentioning Joe. We're talking about our friend Joe Tang, our friend Joe Tang, who is another positive affirmation, good man. You can follow him at Joe Tang on all of his platforms. But just the way that TikTok has been able to just, like you said, fuel this fire. Is amazing, and people are starting to follow me on my other platforms, where like that's really fun to me. And to your point earlier about hitting those milestones, like I'm the director of social media for a marketing firm, right? So like, numbers like never lie to my clients, right? Like I've always been about numbers, because that's what my clients want. They want to know at the end of the day, okay, how much money did I make? They don't care how I did it. They just want to know, how much money did you make me? How many followers do I have now? How many likes? How many comments? Blah, blah, blah. So like, I've always been also motivated by the number side of things, because like, I want to know if my message is working. I want to, and then I will change it. Like any major corporation, if they see that they're not making money on something, they get rid of it, or they change course, or they strategize, whatever it may be. So like, I don't think it's any different for me or for you or anybody else that wants to continue to grow, to spread a positive message. So like, I've been very blessed in that regard, and I know that you have too. And I do want to talk about your podcast in general. So you host Coffee Talk with Liquid Shane on 973 on major platforms. People can listen to it and all that.
Yep.
What is it like from a podcast standpoint during quarantine? Because I feel like podcasts have just kind of like taken off even more so than what they were because of the pandemic. Because people are home, people are looking for stuff to do.
Yep.
Do you feel that your podcasting now is different than what it was before the pandemic?
I think so, to a point, right? So one of the things I just recorded my 215th episode. So
nice.
I got a good snapshot, and I'm always trying to work on my craft and get better and always get better. And what I found is that through the pandemic, one of the things, it's interesting that you asked this question, because I was sitting down and I was thinking about it the other day. I haven't discussed a lot of things, and it's all about, mindset. It's all about mind over matter. It's all about believing in yourself and let's go, and you can do whatever you set your mind to and all that stuff. But what I found is I really haven't talked all that much about pandemic, viruses, all the stuff you see on the news, politics or anything. What I've done is I've still focused all on and really honed in on personal growth. Like you just said a minute ago, where are you at? What's your mental capacity, and what do you think that you can do? Because if you don't believe in yourself, you're not going to be able to do anything. And number two, if you don't put the work in, you're never going to achieve the things that you want to be able to achieve. You've got to work, right? So I've really honed in on that and leaned in on that. And I've gotten a lot of feedback lately from the podcast where people have gone, I've appreciated it because it kind of removed me from all the noise to get back to focusing on me.
Absolutely.
So it's been an opposite type of change, right? Where a lot of people have used this thing to be able to say, oh, you know what? We're in this pandemic. We're in it together. Let's go. We can do this or whatever. It's been more for me that I want to go outside of that and take that noise and push it away. Much like what you just said, you can still make this the best year ever.
Absolutely.
Right? You just have to invest and work. And for me, I've leaned in on this podcast where my consistency has stayed true, because I was getting a little bit, you do it for 3 years, right? You're doing it for 3 years and you're sitting down and you're going, okay, I'm doing this. Some of the topics get repetitive sometimes and things like that, but that's okay, because you have new listeners and new things that are there. What I found is that this whole thing has created consistency for me. I have the ability to be able to now navigate through that. Every Tuesday I'm putting out a podcast. Every Saturday I'll try to put out a interview if I do an interview. Every morning I've been doing my posts on TikTok. I've been even getting more involved in my Instagram again, and really it's really starting to make me spread out a little bit more, but I've got the time to do it because I'm working a lot from home. You know what I mean? So for me, it's helped to elevate my performance that way, which I've been so appreciative of.
Absolutely, that's great, man. I'm proud of you and congratulate you on the success of that, and your TikTok and your podcast and your velvety voice.
We're everywhere. We're everywhere, dude. Right? You and me and everybody else. We're everywhere. You want to find us? Just look for my face, and you'll find me somewhere. Everywhere.
So just to kind of one last thing I want you to do, if you don't mind, is 2020. Obviously, as I said before, may not be the best year of all time, and like people like you and I, we're able to kind of easily put things into perspective about how we can make this the best year ever. But it's not easy, right? And there might be somebody watching this right now that's sitting here being like, oh, well, it's easy for those guys to do it, but what am I supposed to do? Blah blah. So, which is understandable. Like, completely 100%. Understandable. Like, I'd
say majority are like that. Majority are like, oh, these guys over here smiling, putting those smiles on their faces. They're all happy. Okay, pals, it's not reality.
Right, exactly. Which I completely understand, because I mean, everybody's situation is different, and I totally get it. But with that being said, if somebody were next to you or watching this right now that is just looking for that extra oomph, that extra piece of motivation as to how they can, make their 2020 better, or their week better, or their day better, what would you say to them? What would you say to them right now?
Yeah, I love that you're asking this question, Kai, because yesterday I recorded a TikTok, and yesterday I felt was a really powerful one. Here's what I said. What I said was, on days that we're feeling good, you know what we do? We look at ourselves in the mirror. We're like, we're amazing. We're awesome. I feel great. I'm losing weight. I'm looking good. I'm ready to go. I can take on the world, and I'm ready to go. And on those days that we're not feeling so good, we're looking at ourselves saying, I'm overweight. I don't feel that great. I look really crappy or whatever. But you know what? Both of those days, you're still you. and you're still amazing, and you're still worthy, and you're still worth the fight to be able to continue to move forward. Why does our mental side of it change on a bad day and a good day, right? We're still the same exact people that are worth all those investments on a good day and a bad day. So you're worth it. Why don't you fight just like you do on those bad days when you're trying to be able to come out of it, right? Or you're trying to be, or you're just giving up and you're like, I'm just going to bed. I'm going to, covers over the top. And mind you, it's not always easy because depression is one thing, right? It's clinical and you got to get help and things like that. What I'm saying is that you're worth the fight to go get that help. And you're worth the fight to be able to try to pull yourself out of the rut just to feel like you do on those days when you feel great and you're ready to go. You're the same person. Keep consistency with it. Let's go.
Amen, brother. Yes. That's what I'm talking about, Shane. Shane bringing the fire today. Bringing the fire. His coffee's hot today. It's not lukewarm. It's not cold. His coffee's hot.
Hot, baby. Hot.
Do you have a favorite type of coffee?
I do, yeah. I really do like dark roast. And what we do is my wife and I, we like buying whatever brands that we like to be able to buy, but we like dark roast and we like coarse ground, and French press is my #1 favorite in the world. If you haven't tried French press, it's fancy, it's bougie, pinky out or whatever. But I'll tell you, when it's French pressed, I mean, it is literally like heaven to me. I sit there like a Folgers commercial, both hands on the mug like this going. And I sit there and I go, Like,
here's the thing, Shane, and you can't get mad at me for this. I do drink coffee, but it's not often. I'm a tea drinker. I've always been a tea drinker. I
have
love
many
tea.
friends that are. Yep.
I love me some tea.
What's your favorite tea?
So I don't have it here because I decided to drink coffee today, but it is called Yogi tea, and it's the specific flavor that I get. It's like called vanilla energy.
Oh, nice.
And it just like literally just like boosts my day. It is fantastic.
I love it.
It is great. I mean, it is so good, and I drink it twice a day. 100%.
Nice. Very nice. Awesome.
Dude, I love every second.
I'm gonna have to check it out because we drink tea every once in a while too. So
Dude, check it out. You can get it on Amazon for like $5. It's get a box of it, try it out, and then you're gonna thank me for the newfound energy.
Thank me later. Thank me later.
Exactly. Exactly. So I'll say this. You're welcome.
Yeah,
I'll just say it now.
You are welcome.
You are Dude, I appreciate you taking the time to sit with me. And if anybody wants to get more Shane, where can they go?
And like Kai said earlier, any platform that you listen to podcasts on, that's my #1 forte. That's my focus. Any platform, Apple, Spotify, iTunes, Google, everywhere. Just punch in Coffee Talk with Liquid Shano 1973. You'll be able to find me anywhere there. And then, of course, any of the social media platforms. I'm either at Liquid Shano on TikTok or I'm at Liquid Shano 1973 on all my other ones. Facebook.
I'm gonna put it right down on the screen. I'm gonna put it right down there so people can go and look at it and all of that. And on top of that, friends, if you got more Shane, but if you want more Kyrus.
Yes.
You see that segue? You see what I did
there? Got to have more Kyrus. We got to have more Kyrus. Let's go.
You can follow me on my favorite platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, at The Vibe with Kai. And you can follow me on Snapchat and on TikTok, if it's still here, at Kyrus Keenan. And visit my website, thevibewithkai.com, for your blogs and videos to help you do good, feel good, be good, and live a good life full of good vibes. My friend Liquid Shano, Shane, thank you so much for sitting down with me, my friends. Everybody, have a wonderful, wonderful, blessed day. I love y'all. Good vibes.